Good morning, students. We resume with the teaching of the chapter Fire, Wind and Foam. We had stopped at page number 115 where I told you fire to start needs three components, and to put off the fire also you need to pull off either of the three elements. So let's see what all does the chapter give information about, what all information does the chapter give about fire. Just as three things are needed to start a fire, there are three main ways in which a fire can be put out. In each, one of the three things needed for burning is taken away. For example, we can take away the fuel. If the fire has no fuel to feed on, no burning can take place. We often let a fire die out simply by not adding more fuel to it. Supposedly, a cylinder has caught fire and you leave it outside. Till the time the gas is there in the cylinder, it will continuously keep burning. As soon as the gas comes to an end, it will stop burning on its own. So if the fuel is cut off or the fuel comes to an end, automatically the fire stops. So we allow it to die a natural death by cutting off the supply, either cutting off the supply or stopping the supply of it, or we let it burn out till the entire fuel comes to an end. The second way of putting out a fire is to prevent oxygen from reaching it. As I said, the gas oxygen is compulsory for combustion. You have to have the oxygen supply to put out the fire. No supply of oxygen means no fire. That is why it is said, if somebody catches fire, like if somebody's clothes catch fire, somebody's on fire, you wrap a blanket around them and make them roll on the ground. Why? Because as soon as you wrap the blanket around them, it cuts off the oxygen supply. That's the logic behind it. Small fires can be put out or smothered with a damp blanket or a sack. Just now, as I said, now the word smothered has been said, suffocated or lack of air. This stops oxygen reaching the burning material. Sometimes carbon dioxide is used to extinguish fire. It does not allow oxygen to reach the burning material. So you processing more of CO2, carbon dioxide, to put off the supply of oxygen, because this gas overpowers the oxygen and stops the combustion. The third way of putting out the fire is to remove the heat. Now that's the third element. If the temperature can be brought down below the flash point, the fuel stops burning. If you remember the flash point is the temperature at which the fuel starts burning. So what do? If I take water, that's why people say, no, if like this something has caught fire, just pour water on it. Q. Water reduces the temperature of that particular fuel. As soon as it reduces the temperature, the fire gets put off. Because when it had reached that particular flash point only, then only it had started burning. You blow on a burning matchstick or a candle to put it out. See, it's logical. When you light a matchstick or you light a candle and then you blow on it, what are you doing? You're actually reducing the temperature over there. Immediately it gets put off. In doing so, you remove the hot air around the flame, bringing down its temperature below the flash point, and the candle goes out. Sometimes water is sprayed on fire. It absorbs heat from the burning fuel and lowers the temperature. In certain cases, yes, water is a very feasible solution. So when you spray water on it, it reduces the temperature of the fuel, especially like I had said, forest fires. So when you spray water on it, so it makes it damp, the straws and the wood and the dead leaves and whatever is there on the ground, the layer of the ground which can burn easily, that reduces the temperature over there. It makes it damp, so cutting off the fire. The blanket of water also cuts off the oxygen supply. and the fire is extinguished. So water has got two uses over here. It not only reduces the temperature, it cuts off the oxygen supply as well. Some fires cannot be put out with water. For everything, the water is not the solution. Remember this. Certain fires will get aggravated. मतलब वो ज़्यादा हो जाएगा अगर आपने उस पे पानी डाला. So what is that kind of a fire? Let's see. If water is sprayed onto an oil fire, the oil will float to the top of the water and continue to burn. So if you have learnt in science, lighter liquids float and the heavier liquids sink. So when you mix oil and water, what happens? The oil comes onto the surface and keeps on floating over there, because oil is lighter when compared to the water. It's dense also. So it comes on the top and it floats. So if there's fire burning and if you put water on it, because of the oil, the fire had started, and then you put water on it, what do? Firstly, you allow the oil to float on it, still not cutting off the fire. The oil is continuously burning because it is on the water, not under it. This can be very dangerous because water can flow quickly, carrying the burning oil with it and spreading the fire. Now when you put water on oil, अगर आपके घर में भी like supposedly mama is cooking and the utensil catches fire and it's got oil on it, never ever put water. What would you do? You would take water and splash on it. As soon as you splash water on it, it takes off the oil and spreads it all over. So when you spread it all over, you're actually spreading fire all over. So the best way to put off oil is cut off the oxygen supply. So in house also, if supposedly a utensil or a pan had lots of oil in it, so what do? उसमें अगर आग लग जाए, you take a lid which is bigger than the pan or the utensil and just cover it with that lid. As soon as you cover it with that lid, you cut off the oxygen supply and the fire gets put off. So don't try if there's an accident at home and oil catches fire, don't ever think of putting water on it. Just take something which cannot catch fire, which is a non-conductor, and then you pick it up and which is bigger than the container and put it upside down on it so that the oxygen gets cut off. Water should not also be used on fires caused by electrical appliances. Very, very necessary to take care of. Electrical appliances have life supply of electricity in them. And water is a good conductor of electricity. Water allows electricity to flow through it. So if the electric circuit catches fire, if you throw water on it, there's water all over the place. You are actually allowing water to carry the electricity with it, and anybody coming in contact with the water can get a shock, can get an electrical shock. The person spraying water might receive an electrical shock and be killed. So like if you take a pipe and you are spraying on the circuit or the switch, water is in your hand, like your hand is wet, and that water comes in contact with the electricity, so you have actually a direct contact with the electricity, so you can get a shock in that way. A carbon dioxide extinguisher is the best thing to fight an electrical fire. So the best way to fight out an electrical fire is use a CO2 extinguisher. It's a compressed gas in it. It will create kind of a foam. Like small cylinders also you get off it, and when you spray it's foamy, and then it comes like it immediately puts off the fire which has been created because of the electrical supply. First you go and switch off the electrical appliance, or you cut off the electricity supply from the main switch, and then you go and use the extinguisher. That's all for this particular lecture. I will proceed with the rest of the part of it in the next lecture. Thank you.